Hello, my name is Edwardem Berger. I'm here with our film Jack, which had a premiere last night here in Zlín, and we're very happy to be here. And you are?
Hey, I'm Ivo Pietzckerem. I'm playing the main role in Jack, and yeah, it's exciting to be here in Zlín with the film.
Well, the film started, the first event was, I was playing football with my son in our garden, and my son is, quite young, and then it was summer, and it was sunshine like today, and it was a beautiful day, and it was Sunday. And there was a little kid walking by the fence outside, and he had a school bag on his back. And I found it strange that he has a school bag on a Sunday. Yeah? And I was wondering, why does a kid run around with a school bag on Sunday? And this kid waved over the fence to my son, said, "Hey, Friedrich," that's my son's name. And my son waved back and waved, "Hello, Jack." And they knew each other from school. And I found out that this kid is basically living in a children's home at the end of our street. And that he visits my son told me, well, he goes back to his mom on Friday nights, and on Sunday nights he comes back to the children's home, and tomorrow morning I will go to school with him. And this kid had such a sort of positive attitude and power in his stride, in his walk and in his eyes, that I thought, wow, if a child like that with a, background like that has such power and such positive attitude, that's something I can learn from, and I wanted to make a film about a child like that. We found each other after a long search of casting. I was casting for about 6 to 8 months. We didn't have a lot of money, so I was driving around with my wife for about 6 months in our car every afternoon, going to children's homes, going to playgrounds, going to afternoon school programs, to schools, to theater, whatever, everywhere. We handed out cards to our friends, that were looking for a child. And we didn't find anybody until like 2 months before the shooting. And we thought, well, we probably gonna have to postpone or cancel the shoot because Jack or Ivo is in every shot, so it's concentrated on him. We really needed a great actor for this role. And it was it was late in the afternoon, about 6 o'clock, and it was raining outside, and the casting was coming to a close, and we thought, this is our last chance, because we really looked everywhere in Berlin. We didn't know where else to look anymore. This was it. Basically, if we couldn't find anybody, then we would have to postpone. And then about 6 p.m. Ivo stumbles in with wet hair, a red Ferrari t-shirt, and he was late. Like a little bit like Michelle Pfeiffer in Fabulous Baker Boys, when she comes in for the casting and she's totally late and everybody wants to go home and doesn't feel like listening to her anymore, or we didn't feel like, oh, there's another kid coming. And then we did an improvisation. My wife played a school teacher who said, okay, listen, you have to make your homework. And I told Ivo, you don't want to do homework, you want to go outside playing football. And then they had a huge fight immediately, and we were so impressed. His veins started popping, and he screamed at my wife, he screamed at me. And we were so impressed that, a 10-year-old kid comes in and screams at two strangers, and he had exactly that power that I saw in that little kid walking the street. So we thought, this is our kid, and we were very happy to go home, and we knew we could do the film then.
Well, there's a scene in the film when my brother burns himself in the bathtub, and I have to get him out of the hot water because I turned the hot water on and had to get off his clothes and had to make food because my mom in the film wasn't there. So I'm in the kitchen, like basically making pasta, and there's a scream from the bathtub, and then it's a long scene how I run to the bathroom and I have to get him. I have to pull him out of the hot water, and his whole legs, they're all burnt, and he's crying, and I am like screaming as well, or really panic. And it was hard because he was very small, and it was hard for him to scream so loud and me to get him out, and it was all panic. And yeah, that was a pretty long and hard scene. Yeah.
We had a long rehearsal process before, where we rehearsed some scenes, but then we didn't really have improvisation. Everything was scripted and everything was pretty planned. But we rehearsed a lot before we started shooting, and then we did a lot of takes, where we slowly found each other. Where Ivo walked in a certain way and we panned the camera in a certain way. It was a very strict coordination between camera and actor. So there was not a lot of room for improvisation, but there was room for, discovery. We were able to say, oh, we planned it this way, but Ivo's playing it this way. It's probably better the way he does it. Let's change our concept. But most of it was pretty planned.
It was kind of cool because he was really small and actually quite sweet, but it was hard for him because he's in a lot of scenes as well, and he's really small, and he's sometimes before the shooting he went to school, and I didn't have to do that. That was quite nice, but so some days were hard with him because he then was tired, and then it got annoying, and I annoyed him and he annoyed me, and I was teasing him, and yeah, that probably didn't make it better, but at the end I think I'm 11 years old, so I don't have any completed plan for my future, but I'm playing soccer a lot, and I'm playing the drums as hobbies, and yeah, I have to study for school. I don't do that. I try to do that as good as I can, but it's not the thing that I like most. And I'm not gonna be an actor when I'm adult. I don't want to be that because yeah, there are a lot of great actors in Germany, and a lot of them just don't have a big film where everybody knows about them, and I don't want to be that kind of actor that runs from casting to casting and never gets picked. Yeah, so acting when I'm adult is not the thing for me. I had a lot of thinking about that when we shot the film, because it's a boy who seems very adult, who seems like an adult to me, not from his look, not from his outside, but I mean he's taking care of his brother, and he does not call the police because he loves his mother so much, and at the end when he realizes that it's best for him and his brother to go to the children's home. I don't know if a boy my age could take this decision to say, I'm going away from my mother to a children's home because it's better for my brother and me. And I think that's a decision that it's really hard to make when you're so young. So it's hard to imagine that I'm a boy like Jack, because I have a totally different life.
The Zlín Film Festival invites you to the 55th Zlín Film Festival in 2015 for the Days of German Cinema, so I suggest you should come, because it's a great city.
Zlín ist super, und wir haben eine super schöne Zeit hier, und das Festival lädt euch ganz herzlich ein, nächstes Jahr 2015 zum 55. Zlín Festival zu kommen und hier alles zu genießen.